Welcome to Neo Royal, House of Pricey Cardboard. On today's episode, we are playing some of the new Kamigawa legends. We are joined by Brendan, also known as Create Commander, as well as Fitz from the Arena of the Ancients. You can find Brendan on YouTube and Twitter under the name Create Commander. Make sure to leave no space between the two words, especially on YouTube. Brendan focuses on deck techs for beginning players that are often budget friendly and easy to pick off. You can also check his streams on Twitch for some live Commander gameplay and brews. You can find Fitz on Twitch as well under the name Arena of the Ancients, most Sundays in the evening playing a wide range of power level, but more often than not optimized casual to high power. Brendan is playing Greasefang, Okiba Boss. This is an Orzhov vehicle and artifact creature build looking to fill up the garage and swing out for the win. Fitz is playing his Rograkh, Son of Rohgahh, paired with Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. This is a Polymorph Deck looking to use Rograkh's cheap cost to turn him into bigger creatures. Most of them care about drawing cards and turn the card advantage into damage. As for Kelly, she is playing Hidetsugu, Devouring Chaos. This is essentially a burn deck with a sub-theme of top deck manipulation to make the best off of our commander's ability. We have also a couple of great token makers to get that stride 2 going. For myself, I'm playing Tatsunari, Toad Rider. This is obviously an Enchantress build, but with a focus on enchantment creatures. Casting enchantments will trigger a lot of my permanents, and we included a mutate package to get more toads. We also run some live game pingers like Dina to double up on those Kimi triggers. Brendan's opening hand contains Thundersteel Colossus, Arcane Signet, Tinted Field, Shine Shadow Snark, Vote of Whisper, and a basic Plains, putting a Plains on the bottom for the mulligan. Fitz's opening hand contains Terror of the Peaks, Mass Polymorph, Mindstone, Soul Ring, Arcane Lighthouse, and 2 basic mountains. Kelly's opening hand contains Zozu the Punisher, Crypt Gas, Chaos Warp, Arcane Signet, Deserted Desert, Shadow Blood Ridge, and a Bojika Bug. My opening hand contains Migratory Greathorn, Nightmare Shepherd, Propaganda, Whip of Erebos, Toxic Deluge, Tainted Owl, and a Woodland Cemetery. Thank you to all our amazing patrons for supporting the show. You can find the link in the description and unlock bonus gameplays for as low as $2 a month. Brendan gets to start this off, and land drops a Shine Shadow Snarl, revealing a Plains.
I'm definitely the bad guy this game.
Yeesh.
When are you not? My God, Fitz, come on!
Fitz land drops a mountain. He casts a Soul Ring and a Mind Stone, becoming the archenemy. I land drop a Woodland Cemetery, while Kelly land drops a Deserted Temple. Brendan land drops a Vault of Whispers. He casts his own Soul Ring, followed by a Talisman of Hierarchy and an Arcane Signet, contesting Fitz's title. Fitz land drops a mountain. He casts Terror of the Peaks.
I would like to panic.
I land drop a Tainted Owl and cast Farseek for Zagoth Tryon. Kelly land drops Shadowblood Ridge and cast Arcane Signet, ending a pretty explosive turn 2. Brendan land drops a Swamp. He casts Thundersteel Colossus. Fitz land drops an Island and casts one of his commander, Sakashima of 1,000 Faces.
Now you see me?
Now you don't. Entering the battlefield as a second Terror of the Peaks, dealing 5 to me on ETB. Going to combat, the original Terror goes to Brendan. I don't find a 4th land and cast Propaganda. Kelly land drops a Bojika Bug and pass. Brendan land drops a Plains. He then casts his commander, Greasefang, Okiba Boss.
Come on, boys! Let's ride!
He crews the Colossus and heads into combat, sending the massive vehicle to Fitz. Fitz then drops a mountain. He casts Stout Vessel and Luca, Copper Colt Outcast. He then casts his second partner, Rograkh, Son of Rohgahh.
I'm the little girl about that. Good. I'm the little girl about that. Good. I'm the little girl about that. Good. Ah!
Using Luca's -2 to polymorph Rograkh into Docent of Perfection. This triggers both terrors, dealing 5 to Greasefang and 5 to me. He then goes to combat, sending 1 terror to Brendan and 1 to Kelly.
You did say turns 7 to 9, right, Phil? Because I think this might be over faster than it.
Yeah, but you know, Soul Ring turns are always a bit faster.
I cast Toxic Deluge, putting 4 life into the X.
I take back everything I just said.
Kelly land drops a Badlands. She casts Zozu the Punisher, followed by a Jadar, Goldcaller of Nephalia. At the end step, Jadar crits a zombie with Decade. Brandon casts Foundry Inspector. He then drops a Plains and recasts Greasefang. He then crews the Colossus with the Inspector, finishing off Luca with the vehicle on his combat step. Fitz then drops an Arcane Lighthouse. He recasts Rograkh and then passes. I then drop a Forest and cast my commander, Tatsunari, Toad Rider. Kelly casts Rakdos Signet. She then casts her commander, Hidetsugu, Devouring Chaos. Going to combat, Jadar's zombie attacks Fitz. The zombie dies because of Decade and Jadar creates a new one at the end step. Brendan starts with combat, sending the Colossus to me and Greasefang to Fitz. In second main, he then drops a Tainted Field, and at the end step, Fitz casts a Fact or Fiction. I end up making some pretty bad piles for us because of the flashback on Eco Evians. I put Chaos Warp and Eco together and the other 3 in a second pile. Fitz then untaps for turn. He then drops Steam Vents tapped and casts Rograkh, followed by Swiftfoot Boots. He then casts Blasphemous Act, and with the board clear, he flashbacks Echo Evians. In reaction, Brandon fractures the Scroll Rack. Fitz then passes. I then drop a Flooded Grove.
No take damage.
Nope, he's gone.
I was just helping Phil out, saving his life to her.
Sure.
I recast my commander and pass. Kelly then drops a Sulfurous Mire. She casts Treasure Map, followed by Atsushi the Blazing Sky. Brendan then drops a Command Tower. He casts a Fearsome Arena, followed by a Marionette Master, putting 3 counters on the Artificer.
Set toughness to 4, 7.
Goodbye, stream.
Ending.
Stream ending. It was a good one. We had a good stream. Thanks for hanging out, chat.
Oh, dang it.
Brendan then casts High Speed Hoverbike, tapping down Atsushi on ETB. He then goes to combat, attacking Kelly with the Colossus. Fitz then drops a Sulphur's Falls. He casts Fractured Power Stone, followed by a Rhystic Study. He recasts his Goblin partner and equips the boots on him before passing. I then drop a Swamp.
Everything's bad now.
It's the darkest timeline.
I was like, I have my plan, and then Rhystic Study happened.
I cast Evolutionary Leap and get Kimi on cast, but immediately sacrifice it to the leap, revealing cards until I get my Marauding Blight Priest to hand. I cast Dark Privilege on my commander, which is very fitting if you've read the Tatsunari story. For my combat step, I send Tatsunari to Brendan. Kelly then drops a Swamp. She casts Ophiomancer, followed by a Sensei's Divining Top. Kelly gets a Death Touch Snake at the upkeep, while Brendan draws an additional card. He casts Tempered Steel and then Bronze Guardian. Heading into combat, the Flying Overbite goes to Fitz. Fitz then drops an island. He casts Niz-Mizzets Parun, gearing it with the boots before passing. On my turn, I sacrifice Kimi to the leap, getting Sea Dasher Octopus to hand. I cast Mirror Maid, entering as a Soul Ring. I don't pay the 1 and Undra Niz-Mizzets deals 1 to Brendan. I cast Marauding Blight Priest and pass. At the end step, Kelly activates Treasure Map, bottoming 1. She then checks the top 3 with the top. On her turn, she casts Rograkh.
I want to look at the top card of my library, okay? I want it.
Kelly casts Feed the Swarm on Rhystic Study. Niz-Mizzets deals 1 back to her. Brendan then drops an Inventor's Fair.
Welcome to the Under 20 Life Club.
Yes, indeed. I am happy to be here. I wouldn't have got here without you guys, so...
Definitely not.
He recasts his commander and then casts Oval Chase Dragster. Going to combat, the Colossus attacks Fitz, the Dragster Kelly, and the Overbike me. Reacting to attackers, Fitz resculpts the Colossus coming his way, drawing a card and pinging Brandon. On death, Marionette Master makes Kelly lose 4, while she makes 3 treasures from Atsushi. On draw for turn, Fitz pings Brandon. He casts Winged Words, dealing 3 to Brandon. He then casts Stormkite Leviathan, moving the boots onto it. He goes to combat, sending Stormtide and Niz-Mizzets to Brandon for 13 damage. On my turn, I mutate Kami with a Sea Dasher Octopus, changing its name. I cast Grim Guardian, getting a new Kami, and finally getting some triggers. This takes Brandon out of the game. On ETB, Constellation deals another damage. I cast Imprison in the Moon on Niz-Mizzets. Fitz reacts with Negate. He draws a card and deals 1 to me. We then resolve my 2 Kami and Blight Priest triggers for 4 as they are cast triggers. I then pass since I can't attack. At the end step, Kelly scries with the map. On our turn, she reactivates the map, transforming it into Treasure Cove and creating 3 treasures. She casts her own Terror of the Peaks, and then Hidetsugu a second time, dealing 4 to my Blight Priest on ETB.
Oh,
How does my octopus? Why is it unable to attack? It's a fish.
he's clearly underwater.
Fitz deals me 1 damage on draw. He then drops an island and casts Consecrated Sphinx. He recasts Sakashima, entering as a second Niz-Mizzets. He then cracks his Mind Stone for a card, dealing 2 damage to me. For his combat step, the Stormtide attacks Kelly. As I draw for turn, Fitz draws 2, which gives him 4 damage from his dragons. He takes out my Octopus Kami and deals 2 to me. I cast Nightmare Shepherd, taking Kelly out of the game.
Dude, oh my, okay, I just realized that with the life I have, I'll be at 1. But at the same time, if I don't do it, I'm just dead. Okay.
I cast Toxic Deluge where X equals 8. Uncast, Fitz draws 2 and deals 2 to me. Nightmare Shepherd exiles my commander and Grim Guardian, giving me 1/1 nightmare versions of them. Fitz then drops an island. He casts Niz-Mizzets Draco Genius, activating his ability to deal me the final point of damage. Well played. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Tell me in the comments if you are building one of the new legends from this set. There are so many to choose from. You can find links to our guest socials in the description. Take care and we'll see you very soon.